Garrett Haake is back with us. Garrett Haake, what the Republicans have to decide today, it would appear, after all that evidence, is are they for or against protecting the lives of police officers? And are they for or against holding to account he who would incite an assassination attempt on Vice President Mike Pence?
Nicole, I'm still trying to put it together after watching that video myself. I said this on Twitter, so I'll own it here. I don't know how any thinking person can watch this presentation and not draw the straight line from Donald Trump to the attack. I mean, this is why the constitutionality argument was so important to some of these Republican senators, because that's the only thing you can hang your hat on. You can't look at the evidence from the months leading up to this. You can't look at the evidence of that day. You can't look at the people decked out in their Trump gear and shouting, "Hang Mike Pence," and not see the straight line. And, watching all of this, I was just struck over and over again by how close we came to this being so much worse. How close Senator Schumer was, how close my colleagues who were in the House chamber and around the Senate chamber were to being in a really bad way, and how close Mitt Romney was. I mean, we saw that video. One of my colleagues just caught up with him off the floor. He said he had no idea how close he was to the rioters, said it was incredibly emotional and distressing. And he's looking for Officer Goodman right now to find him and thank him. I mean, we're all kind of reliving this, but also learning, I think, for the first time, just how much worse this could have been. And I know that's true of some of these lawmakers, too, who thought they knew what happened on that day and are learning it in real, even more disturbing detail now.
Garrett Haake, Stacey Plaskett invoked something that I think was a gut punch. She talked about on 9/11, the heroes on the flight who brought down the plane that was heading for the nation's capital. Let's listen to it. We have it.
This year is 20 years since the attacks of September 11th. And almost every day, I remember that 44 Americans gave their lives to stop the plane that was headed to this Capitol building. I thank them every day for saving my life and the life of so many others. Those Americans sacrificed their lives for love of country, honor, duty, all the things that America means. The Capitol stands because of people like that. This Capitol that was conceived by our founding fathers, that was built by slaves, that remains through the sacrifice of service men and women around the world. And when I think of that, and I think of these insurgents, these images incited by our own President of the United States, attacking this Capitol to stop the certification of a presidential election, our democracy, our republic.
Garrett Haake, one of the men who was among that group that brought that flight down was Todd Beamer. His famous last words were, "Let's roll." And you can't help but thinking that the last words we heard from Donald Trump's allies were, "Let's turn the page."
Yeah, that's not going to happen, Nicole. I mean, that's the bottom line. I mean, that's what this is about today. You can't turn the page on this. I mean, you can't turn the page on the 5 people who died that day, on the 2 officers who took their own lives in the weeks that followed, at least in part because of the trauma of what they experienced here. You can't see this and just move on. It's not... It defies any logic, any thinking ability of any real serious person to say, yeah, we're just going to move on from this. It's not possible. And you talk about the heroism here. I mean, look at Officer Goodman, the guy who was in the ultimate wrong place at the wrong time, but made all the right decisions. Now, I covered MPD, that's DC local cops, for a couple of years before I came to this network. Those guys know how to do protests. They know how to do violent, ugly protests. And hearing the emotion in the voices on those recordings of the scanners of these officers who were getting their lines pushed back and overwhelmed spoke to me. That doesn't happen. It's just not how this goes. I mean, the level of fear in people who know what they're doing in these scenarios is striking to me. And I have to keep going back to this idea of how much worse this could have been and how lucky everybody who stands in this room and who works up here is that this wasn't so much worse.
Hey, thanks for watching our YouTube channel. You should know that you can follow today's top stories and breaking news and catch up on your favorite MSNBC shows all in one place. Download the NBC News app today.